Picture this. It's a quiet morning. The smell of crispy bacon fills the kitchen, coffee brewing beside it. Later, maybe a deli sandwich for lunch and a juicy steak or fried chicken for dinner, with a glass of wine to make the evening feel special. For most of us over 60, these aren't luxuries. They're the little pleasures that make life feel normal, even joyful. But what almost nobody tells you is this. Those same foods and drinks, the ones we've trusted for decades, can quietly turn against us. They thicken our blood, harden our arteries, and push our blood pressure to dangerous peaks while we sleep. There's no warning, no pain, just one peaceful night, and a morning where you can't lift your arm, can't speak to your loved ones, or can't stand on your own feet. Have you ever wondered why so many strokes in seniors happen between 2 and 5 a.m.? What's happening inside your blood during those silent hours? And more importantly, are the foods bringing you comfort today quietly stealing your ability to hold your grandchild, to drive, or to live independently tomorrow? Before I reveal the 5 everyday meats and 1 extra trigger that every senior needs to rethink, I want to know, which of these comfort foods is part of your week? Bacon, steak, deli meat, fried chicken, or maybe all of them? Share it below, because what you discover in the next few minutes might be the reason you stay independent, or the reason you don't wake up. Here's why so many people over 60 feel perfectly fine, until one day they're not. Maybe your doctor has told you your blood pressure is just a little high, or your cholesterol is not perfect, but nothing to worry about. So you keep your same habits. You enjoy the foods you always have. Life feels normal. Why change? But what most people don't realize is this. After 60, your body isn't the same machine it once was. Your arteries lose their flexibility. They're no longer smooth, elastic highways for blood flow. Instead, they're more like old garden hoses left in the sun, rigid, cracked, and far easier to clog or burst, even under pressure that once seemed harmless. At the same time, your pancreas and insulin response slow down. The sugar and fat from your evening meal, dessert, or drink don't clear as fast as they used to. They sit in your bloodstream for hours, thickening your blood like syrup creeping through a narrow pipe. And your natural filters, your liver and kidneys, are aging too. They work slower, so chemicals, nitrites from processed foods, hormones from factory-raised meats, even fat-soluble vitamins like A, they linger, quietly stacking stress on your heart and brain through the night. Have you ever woken up at 2 or 3 a.m. with a dry mouth, a pounding head, or your heart racing after a heavy dinner and a drink? That isn't just discomfort, it's your body fighting to survive the overload. On vessels already stiff, with blood already thick, it becomes the perfect storm for a stroke before sunrise. So think about your own habits. What's the one food or drink you lean on at night? The thing you think is harmless? Bacon? Fried chicken? A glass of wine? Or maybe all 3? Share it below, because what you'll discover next may change the way you see those comforts forever. Could these nightly indulgences be slowly stealing your memories, your ability to walk, your independence, without a single warning sign? Let's find out. Feeling fine can be deceptive. For 3 people I've met, it almost cost them everything. Michael Torres, 69, from Arizona, lived what many would call a balanced life. He didn't smoke, stayed active, and had no family history of heart problems. But every morning he followed the same routine. Bacon with his eggs, a quick deli sandwich at lunch because it was easy. One night he went to bed feeling fine and never walked on his own again. At sunrise, his wife found him, speech slurred, right side paralyzed. Not a heart attack, a stroke, caused by blood so thick and sluggish the one small clot shut down blood flow to his brain while he slept. Clara Johnson, 74, from Oregon, thought she was protecting her health. No fast food, daily multivitamins, and once a week, beef liver, a dish her mother swore by. But Clara started waking up with headaches, blurred vision, dizzy spells. She blamed age, until one morning she collapsed pouring her coffee. Tests showed toxic levels of vitamin A had built up, not flushed away, creating dangerous pressure inside her skull. The symptoms, confusion, vision loss, slurred speech, mimicked a full stroke. The food she thought gave her strength was quietly poisoning her brain. And Stephen Reed, 65, from Ohio, proud of staying independent, loved 2 things: fried chicken on Fridays and backyard barbecues with charred steaks. He walked his dog daily, mowed his own lawn. But one morning, His wife saw his face droop, his words tumble into nonsense. A transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. The years of trans fats and toxins from charred meats had inflamed and narrowed his arteries, leaving him one step from a devastating stroke. What ties their stories together isn't just age, it's what these foods do inside a body that no longer processes them the way it used to. Sodium and nitrites from processed meats make arteries stiff and fluid-filled, forcing the heart to pump harder. Trans fats and sugars drive nighttime insulin spikes, thickening the blood, making clots more likely. Vitamin A from liver, especially with multivitamins, builds up in the brain, raising intracranial pressure. And those dark grill marks on steak? They're full of HCAs and PAHs, toxins that scar and inflame blood vessels, turning flexible lifelines brittle and breakable. Think of your blood vessels as delicate pipes running through your body. Each time you pour in excess salt, chemicals, and heavy fats, the pressure inside builds, cracks form, and one quiet night, they give way. Which of these stories feels most like your life? The quick breakfasts, the healthy family tradition, the weekend barbecues? Share it below, because in the next few minutes, you'll see which habits you can keep and which ones could quietly take away your freedom. We've heard the stories. Now let's talk about the foods themselves. These are the 5 biggest offenders, plus one extra habit, that silently put seniors at the highest risk of life-changing strokes. And chances are, one or more of them are sitting in your kitchen right now. Let's start with the one most people see as tradition, not danger. Number 5. Grilled red meat. The sizzle, the smoky smell, the family cookout, it feels safe because it's not fried. But here's the catch. When beef hits high flames and dark char marks form, it creates toxic compounds called HCAs and PAHs. These chemicals don't just make meat smoky. They inflame and scar the inner lining of your blood vessels, turning flexible lifelines brittle. Over time, that damage fuels plaque buildup, memory problems, microstrokes, and sudden TIAs, the warning strokes that often strike out of nowhere. Most seniors think grilling is the healthier choice, but it's the char and smoke, not just fat, that quietly push them closer to a stroke. Love those grill marks? They might be carving away your brain health, bite by bite. Safer choice. Cook at lower heat, skip the blackened edges, and pair steak with garlic, turmeric, or greens to fight inflammation. Number 4. Organ meats. Many of today's seniors were told since childhood, liver builds blood, it's pure energy, but no one mentioned vitamin A overload. Liver is packed with retinol, a fat-soluble form of vitamin A. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, it doesn't flush out. It builds up in your liver and brain over weeks. After 60, as your liver slows down, this can quietly raise intracranial pressure, squeezing your brain like a vice. The symptoms, blurred vision, dizziness, nausea, speech trouble, can mimic a stroke before you even know something's wrong. Add in a multivitamin that already contains vitamin A, you're stacking doses without knowing it, a slow drip of poison in a food you thought was fuel. The liver your parents swore by might be silently sabotaging your memory and balance. Number 3. Fried chicken and factory-raised poultry. For decades, people were told, switch to white meat, it's safer than red. Many did, reaching for fried chicken or convenient takeout made from industrially farmed birds. But most of these chickens are injected with sodium-heavy marinades, hormones, and antibiotics. When fried in reused oils, their skin soaks up trans fats, the worst kind of fat, boosting bad cholesterol, lowering good, and inflaming the arteries feeding your brain. Pair that fried chicken with biscuits, fries, or a soda? You trigger a huge nighttime insulin spike. Blood thickens, sticks, and clots more easily while you sleep. Seniors who believed white meat is safe have unknowingly set the stage for the very strokes they were trying to avoid. The chicken you thought was saving your heart could be setting you up for a midnight stroke. Bonus trigger. Alcohol with heavy dinners. One glass of wine to cut through a rich dinner. A beer to relax. It feels harmless, even healthy. But at night, alcohol changes everything. It dilates your blood vessels, destabilizing blood pressure. It dehydrates you, thickening your blood, and it slows your liver, leaving toxins from meats and sauces in your system longer. On its own, that's risky. But if you're on aspirin or blood pressure meds, it can double your odds of a silent, middle-of-the-night hemorrhagic stroke. That single glass of wine that makes dinner feel lighter, paired with salty, fatty meats, It can turn your bloodstream into a sludge-filled river by midnight. Number 2. Processed meats. They don't look dangerous, just convenient sandwich fillers or light meals. But they're loaded with nitrites, phosphates, and industrial sodium that damage artery walls and force your body to retain fluid. The result? Your blood pressure surges, your vessels stiffen, and if you're one of millions on daily blood thinners, one minor nosebleed or headache could be the only warning before a full brain bleed changes your life. That easy deli sandwich might be the gamble that costs you your independence. Number 1. Bacon. It's the hardest to hear because bacon feels like comfort itself. But it's the single most common trigger behind nocturnal blood pressure surges, those 2 or 3 a.m. spikes that can turn a peaceful night into a catastrophe. 2 slices at breakfast pack nearly 400 milligrams of sodium, 1/3 of a senior's safe daily limit before the day even starts. Add saturated fat and preservatives, and you've built the perfect storm for a clot to form while you sleep. For years, people have said it's just a treat. But each crispy bite brings you closer to the morning you can't walk, can't talk, or don't wake up at all. Which of these do you see in your own meals? Bacon for breakfast, deli meats for lunch, fried chicken on weekends, or all of them? Share it below, because the first step to protecting your brain and your independence is knowing which habits are slowly stealing them away. So what can you do, starting tonight, to protect your brain, your independence, and still enjoy life? The good news is, you don't need a complicated diet or expensive supplements. You just need a few smart swaps and 2 tiny habits that can transform how your body handles stress while you sleep. First, swap in cleaner proteins. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, pasture-raised chicken, beans, and nuts give your body the protein it needs without the preservatives, hormones, and heavy fats that silently scar your arteries. These foods are naturally rich in omega-3s and antioxidants, the nutrients your brain actually uses to keep memory sharp and mood steady. Second, trade industrial table salt for mineral-rich sea salt. Most people don't realize this, but sea salt contains potassium and magnesium, minerals that help balance fluids and keep blood pressure steady. This isn't about cutting flavor, it's about giving your body the kind of salt it can actually handle. Third, make dinner lighter. Big, heavy meals loaded with fried foods or sugary sides don't just add calories. They trigger massive insulin spikes overnight, turning your blood into sludge by 2 a.m. Choosing smaller, balanced dinners, lean protein, vegetables, slow-digesting grains, keeps blood flowing smoothly so your heart and brain can rest. Then, before you turn in for the night, add 2 habits that take less than 5 minutes but make a big difference. Start with a warm glass of water before bed. It's a simple step, but it helps keep your blood slightly thinner and your pressure steadier, lowering the risk of a sudden surge while you sleep. Then try the 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. It slows your heart rate, triggers your body's natural relaxation response, and gently lowers blood pressure without a single pill. When you combine these swaps and habits, cleaner proteins, mineral-rich salt, lighter dinners, hydration, and breathing, you're not just avoiding the foods that harm your brain. You're teaching your body to reset, heal, and protect itself, so you can wake up clear-headed, steady on your feet, and confident in your independence. Which of these are you willing to start tonight? 1 swap? Both habits? Or all 5 steps? Share it below, because every change, no matter how small, could be the one that keeps you thinking clearly, walking confidently, and living life on your own terms for years to come. Every meal, every bite, every small habit you choose after 60 shapes the morning you wake up to. It's not just about giving up bacon or skipping that charred steak. It's about finally understanding how your body has changed and what it needs to keep protecting you. Your brain holds your memories, your voice, the very essence of who you are. And your heart and arteries are the silent lifelines that keep it all alive. But the truth most people never hear is this: the same foods and drinks you've trusted for decades can quietly turn against you, not with warnings you can see, but in one silent moment when everything changes. The hope is this: it's not too late. Your brain can still heal, your vessels can stabilize, your energy, your balance, your clarity, they can return if you start giving your body what it truly needs now. So as you sit here, think about your next meal, your next nightly habit, your next choice. What's one change you'll start tonight to protect the life you've worked so hard to build? Will it be trading that processed meat for wild salmon? Drinking that warm glass of water before bed? Or simply spending 2 minutes breathing, letting your heart and mind slow down so you can rest deeply? Share your answer below, because every story here, every small decision helps another person just like you stay sharp, steady, and independent for years to come. Together, we're not just avoiding silent threats. We're building a community of older adults who refuse to let a single bite or bad habit steal their future. So I'll ask you one last time. What's the first step you'll take tonight to protect the life you love?